Now, Saturn worship is something that the cults seem to hold on to. This dates back to the days of the Romans. But it is also something which also takes place today. Let's look at why they worship this planet. And is there a connection between this planet and Baal worship?
So the Romans, of course, had many gods. They based their astrology on gods, including Saturn. So why was this planet so important to them? Let's have a look into the planet itself. To the Romans, Saturn, according to mythology, was the god of agriculture, time, and liberation. Romans believed Saturn ruled over a mythical golden age of plenty and equality. To celebrate this time, the Romans would celebrate at a time called Saturnalia. Saturnalia, originally a one-day feast on December 17th, it eventually expanded into a week-long party ending on December 23rd.
Okay, yes, Saturnalia. Anything went down in those freaky-ass festivals. If I am not mistaken, they never stopped celebrating it. In fact, they snuck it into modern-day Christian beliefs.
Exactly true. Exactly. The Romans incorporated their traditions into the Roman Catholic Church doctrine. You see, once the Romans adopted Christianity from paganism, they couldn't let go of the celebration of Saturnalia go. So they incorporated the event into Christian beliefs. They moved the celebration of the birth of Jesus to December 25th, which was already the birthday of Sol Invictus, the sun god, and kept the popular customs. Here are the specific elements of Saturnalia that were folded into Christmas. The date, December 25th. Before it was Christmas, December 25th was the climax of the winter festival season. The solstice. Romans celebrated the Brumalia, winter solstice. Sol Invictus. In 274 AD, Emperor Aurelian made December 25th the official birthday of the unconquered sun. Since the Bible doesn't give a specific date for the birth of Jesus, the Church chose this date to symbolize the Sun of Righteousness, replacing the pagan sun god. Gift-giving, sigillaria. The Roman tradition of giving was central to Saturnalia. Then, Romans gave sigillaria, little clay dolls, wax candles, cerae, and even gag gifts or poems. The dolls were often given to children. Sound familiar? Now, this evolved into the modern exchange of toys and gifts. Even the concept of stocking stuffers mirrors the small, inexpensive trinkets Romans swapped. Greenery and wreaths. Romans didn't have Christmas trees. That's a much later Germanic influence. But they were obsessed with greenery. Then, they decorated their homes, temples, and outdoor spaces with holly, ivy, and laurel branches. To the Romans, evergreens represented the resilience of life during the death of winter. Now, we still deck the halls with the exact same plants, and the Roman Saturnalia wreath became the standard door decoration for the holidays. Candles and lights. Saturnalia was a festival of light. Then, because it was the darkest time of year, Romans used massive amounts of wax candles to symbolize the power of Saturn as a god of the sun, light in some contexts, and to encourage the sun to return. Now, this transitioned directly into Christmas candles, tree lights, and the general glow of the season. The merry atmosphere and excess. The modern office party or holiday spirit is pure Saturnalia. Feasting. Saturnalia was the one time of year when Roman austerity was thrown out the window. People ate and drank to excess. Public greeting. Just as we say Merry Christmas, Romans would shout, Io Saturnalia, to strangers in the street. Equality. The idea of peace on earth and goodwill toward men mirrors the Saturnalia tradition of masters and slaves eating together, where social grudges were temporarily forgiven. The Lord of Misrule, Santa Claus. In the medieval period, the Roman Saturnalicious princeps, the leader of the feast, became the Lord of Misrule, or the boy bishop, who led Christmas parades. While Santa Claus has roots in St. Nicholas, a 4th century Greek bishop, his festive, jolly persona and his association with giving gifts to children carry the DNA of the benevolent Golden Age Saturn.
Interesting, so modern-day Christians unwittingly celebrating a pagan festival without them knowing it. But this has been passed, of course, to Christians all over the world, even those who are not Roman Catholic. So Pentecostal, Methodist, Anglican, and many Orthodox churches, in fact most of the world, celebrating a fake religious day. And what makes it worse? Saturnalia has links to the demon Baal. Kathy, could you please update us?
Well, this is the worrying part. The fact that we have been duped into celebrating the birth of Christ on the 25th of December. When the Romans conquered the Carthaginians are modern-day Tunisians, they found that they worshiped Baal. They realized that Baal had many similarities to the Roman god Saturn. Both were father figures. They weren't young, handsome heroes like Apollo or Mars. They were the old kings, stern, powerful, and demanding. Both were farmers' gods. If you wanted your wheat to grow, you prayed to Baal in Carthage, or Saturn in Rome. They both carried tools for cutting grain, like the scythe, and also the scary father reputation. In Greek-Roman myths, Saturn famously ate his own children. In Carthaginian reality, Baal was worshipped with rituals that, according to historians, involved sacrificing children. The link. To the ancient people, these were the same thing, a god who consumes the next generation. So they merged the two gods together. That way they had a shared religion, and it prevented further religious infighting.
Okay, look, we're going to need another episode on this as I have a lot to say about the topic, but obviously I cannot go too deep here on social media. Join me on Patreon for more, where we will look at the child offering theme in detail. Please join me on Patreon. Just Google Patreon/The True Agenda.